Hello and welcome to another episode of Wellness Wednesday. So as you can see, I'm in a different part of the house today. So I actually wanted to bring to you wellness coming from a form point of view when it comes to exercise. So wanting to keep your back safe, strengthen your core, and to really just lengthen the spine in general. So I've worked with a lot of people, including myself, who suffered from back injuries. And we strengthened the core, the pelvic floor, but really at the end of the day, what we really focused on was developing their plank, right? So plank can be a tricky one, especially when you do have back issues, or you might be afraid, maybe you've injured your back or something happened and coming back into exercise. The plank is very well known to be a very supportive exercise for your lower back when done properly for your specific body, for your specific injury. So for the majority of back injuries, this is the way that tends to really work. So if you find that this method doesn't work for you, that's totally fine. That's totally cool. But I find for the majority, it does seem to do wonders. So I got my mat just behind me, so I'm just going to show you a couple of things to tweak within your plank. So just going to start off on your knees, just because if you want to do this along with me, that's great. Just so you can get, not only hear it, see it, but then you can also feel it in your own body. That would be fantastic. Okay, so we're just going to start off in an elbow plank on our knees. Okay, so first of all, what you want to set up is, of course, joints over joints. You really want to think about stacking the joints. Okay, so I mean, in some circumstances, you don't have to do that, but we're just talking about your regular plank here. Okay, so then you're going to roll forward. So as you roll forward, you're actually going to open up the collarbones and depress your scapula. So depressing your scapula just means to bring your shoulders down away from your ears, essentially. Okay, so that's the first part. So we're setting up our upper back really in a strong position. Okay, then we're going to just start to scooch our knees back. Now, as you're scooching your knees back, so this is maybe what will tend to happen in plank. So this is what I'll see the majority of time. Either this, where the back is super arched, or I will see a lot of this, where the bum is super high, or if you're on your knees, it's kind of looking like this, right? So we do want to essentially bring that bum down, but not so much. So either way, right? Because whether your back is really arched or if your hips are just really high, your bum is still up. So we want to think about bringing that bum down. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to pull the tailbone towards the heels. So lengthen your spine, pull the tailbone towards the heels. As you begin to drop slightly forward, we're widening out the collarbones. So I want you to just feel that moment here. Feel this positioning. Now with the tailbone facing towards the heels, you're going to begin to lift up through the lower belly. So think about lifting upwards and then inwards. So you're creating kind of like a J shape. So if you were giving someone the Heimlich maneuver, or I don't think they call it that anymore, I think they call it the J thrust, for obvious reasons, because you're pulling in and then up. So that's what you want to think about here. Just a nice J shape creating with the lower belly. So you're creating kind of like a hollow feeling in the belly itself. I like to puff up through my upper back just to support me just a little bit more. So this version of a plank, and if you'd like, of course, you can take it a little bit higher, still continuing to point the tailbone down towards the heels. So that is one of the best ways to support you. Now, through that time, I would pick a time frame through that plank of what you're holding. So if you can't quite hold that position for a full 30 seconds, I probably would just decrease the time. Okay, so start with 10 seconds, seeing if you can hold that position now, even if you've been working out for a long time, but maybe you've just never been super aware of your form before. Try it out. And try it for 10 seconds. Just give yourself 10 seconds. So if your mental state is in like, oh, I can do more than that, why would I start with 10 seconds when I've been able to hold my plank for 2 minutes? Trying something different, a position that you've never done before, will actually increase the intensity of the actual exercise itself. So anytime that you tweak something, even just very subtly, it could change the entire feeling of the exercise, right? So this is why you want to start just at a very minimum, right? And then if you hold that, great, up the time, right? So just increase the time. So we really want to think about when we're holding form like that one, for instance, especially if you have had a lower back injury, you want to start at smaller segments and then building your way up. Because you'll find that if you start, like let's say you start at 60 seconds, you're going to find it quite hard to actually maintain that form, right? We're not trying to hold the plank. That's not the goal, is to hold the plank. The idea is to hold that form within the plank, right? So getting to kind of a little bit of a nitty gritty there. So I hope that helps. I hope you enjoy that. Give that a try and let me know how it goes. All right, well, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.